Okay, I'm at 3520 Edgeview Drive, and I believe this is Kennedy Heights, Cincinnati, Ohio. Doing a sanitary lateral inspection for the purchase of a home. We're looking for any structural issues, root intrusion, anything that may be of concern to the buyer. The access point is the rearmost stack in the center of the basement, known as, we'll say rear right of the basement, in the basement bathroom. Just in front of the toilet. And so we go in here, and this is cast iron. It should be cast iron under the floor, and then most likely it'll change to clay once it exits the house. And you'll see here is the toilet, there is the stack and the clean out. Now, cast iron is a material that does rust over time. It's pretty obvious that cast iron will rust, and so you never really know what kind of lifespan is left in these lines without being able to, basically X-ray them and be able to see how thin or thick the pipe walls are. I mean, obviously you'd be able to tell if there are any structural issues, but this looks like what you're looking for is making sure that it's holding shape. Like a lot of times you'll see big channeling in the bottom of cast iron, and in this case, I don't really see that, which is good. Cast iron is a little bit more likely to clog from what we call soft clog, just from excess toilet paper or the use of wet wipes, which I always recommend that nobody ever use. It can very easily catch on the side of how rough these pipes get. They very easily catch things like wet wipes, and then they can build up and block the line. Just from seemingly normal use. If you use something like that, or you're using a ton of extra toilet paper, as long as you have normal use, it should be open and fine. And these lines look really good so far. I don't see any. Actually, they're awfully smooth. The pipe walls are awfully smooth compared to most cast iron of this age. Have something in there, and I'm not sure what that is. A little piece of something. Not a concern, just sometimes trying to actually identify what those little pieces are on the bottom there. Looks like we are switching from cast iron over into clay. A little bit of root intrusion there off to the left, but it looks like it's dormant. We usually don't have all that build up. Now that is not dormant. That root intrusion there on the bottom left, as it's working its way down the pipe. Just kind of attaching. I don't see any holes or anything in the line, just a little bit of root intrusion there that had gotten in at the connection. We have a connection off to the left. These are most likely either area drains or most likely the downspouts. This is a combined area, which means the storm system or the downspouts come in. Like if you see, there's one on the right and one on the left, and those downspouts, those are most likely the downspouts coming in from the front. And so what's that? A combined system is where they combine the storm system and the sanitary sewer, which is what is your bathrooms, all your interior plumbing mixes with the exterior plumbing of the storm. Sometimes we have some calcium deposits or mineral deposits here on the side. It's kind of what that looks like. just like that. I just kind of bumped it out of the way there. See some longitudinal cracks on the top. The line is holding shape though, so that's not a major concern. So far, the only thing I've seen any concern is some root intrusion. So we're hoping we get all the way out to the main, and as we pull back, so we may have actually switched over into concrete. It's kind of hard to tell. I don't see any exposed aggregate, but it looks like it does look like concrete actually by the color. I do believe that's what it is. This is concrete pipe now. There's not a whole lot of wear. You can't really see the stone aggregate on the concrete pipe. But concrete is another material that they use. It's pretty common. Hopefully what we'll do is we'll get all the way out to the street and we can rinse the camera off and we'll get a little clearer view on the way back. Based off the footage, we should be coming up to the main shortly. You can see it right above. Up ahead, excuse me. Okay. Since we've got buildup and some blockage there, and I don't know if that is a turn down for the main. I'm going to run some water here and see what we find. So I'm going to pause the video for a second. We're going to run some water and see if this is just because the house is empty and this is where it built up, or if this is an active collapse or something. I'm also going to locate this so we know exactly where this is. Okay, we're running some water. I am all the way out at the main. This is probably where it drops off into the top of the main, or it comes into the side. It's kind of hard to tell, but there's a decent amount of buildup there right at the edge, and so I'm going to kind of let this run for a minute till it reaches this point and see if we can flush that spot out. Yeah. Okay, so looks like regular buildup. It may have just dried out. But the good news is this is off the property. This is just at the main, so we're 114 feet out. I'm going to flush the toilet also and see if that helps. Yeah, I'm definitely surprised that water hasn't made it yet. There we go. And so the water may be getting through. It just may not be getting through. See, there we go. I was able to push past that spot. So we'll see if we can break free all this stuff, because that is a drop off into the top of the main. And so we'll just kind of see if I can get my camera to move this stuff out of the way and get it to fall over the edge into the main. It doesn't seem like it's causing any kind of backup or anything, but it's kind of strange that it's not also going into the main. So there may be there's an awful lot of buildup, but it's weird that my camera is going right on through. So I don't know what this is. Definitely kind of strange. It's open, and so I mean, all I can really say is it's an unidentifiable pile. I mean, which is kind of strange, because it does seem like, I mean, everything is functioning, and the line is going right past it. There's no obstruction to my camera as I go past it. It just drops right over the side, which is what it's supposed to do. And we're going vertical into the top of the main. And so there may be some intrusion here that's kind of catching some things. It's really hard for me to tell, so I'm gonna do recommend that. Oh, there we go. I actually got that little bit. I'd actually got it broke loose and over the edge. And so now you can see that the pile on the left. So probably what had happened was that that was the last little piece of stuff that was left when the person moved out that had lived here. And so I did manage to break it loose and get it over, but my camera's on the left side and there's still a little bit on the right. And there may be a little bit of root intrusion, but this is off the property. This is in the middle of the street, right at the tap on the main. So if this ever causes an issue, it would be something that would be the responsibility of the Metropolitan Sewer District. And so I'm going to pull back. It looks like there's some wet wipes and stuff here too, which is something that should be avoided, like I mentioned earlier. So we're going to go ahead and pull back through the concrete and see if we can better identify where it switches back over to clay. But structurally, the line looked pretty good. I didn't see any major issues. And the only thing of note was some root intrusion, but even that was not very heavy. So the main is at 115 feet. I saw that white stuff, that's what I mean about it. And if it is root intrusion, it's inactive. Here's a little bit of root intrusion here. About 70 feet. And so all that roughness is definitely the concrete. And so what I'm going to do here is we're going to actually turn the water off now and let it drain down a little bit so we can see at this spot, because as of right now that there's just enough water in this area that from the flow that it's covering the camera. So we're going to pause the video for a second. Okay, we've got the line off, or the water off, excuse me, and we're waiting for the see how much this drains down, because we didn't have any standing water previously, and there had already been stuff running through the fixtures. So we can kind of watch it. It should drain down pretty easily. So we can actually see where we were underwater up there, but we don't have to worry about, like, we can see the pipe itself from that point. So there's some roots of 70 feet. There's a little more of the mineral deposits. So we're still waiting for that water to drain, but there are spots like that where we can see, again, some more mineral deposits getting in. With concrete, a lot of times you have that stuff get in where at the connections. And so here we are, we went to concrete and we are now in clay. Here's where the largest amount of root intrusion was. It was right here, where it looks like the clay connection, they put clay in and then connected the downspouts, and then went back to concrete. There's only one small section of clay there. Oh, and here we are with another one. And here is some root intrusion. This is where the largest amount of root intrusion was. The only really worrisome stuff, and that was at like 44 feet. And the 44-foot mark is that's very, very little amount of roots. It's very minor, but it could be and should be taken care of with some with a chemical treatment like Root X or something like that. And that is right where it exits the house. So then we're back into the cast iron. And so there was a short piece of clay from about 40 to 50 feet, and then the rest of it is, and then it's cast iron for the first 40 feet and concrete from that 50-foot mark all the way out to 115. So the 44-foot mark is the roots, and that's where you would need to. That's the only spot really of any note. I would recommend that you put some Root X down there to try to keep that at bay. Make sure that the roots don't grow any larger. something that you would normally do about once a year. And if you use it as a preventative maintenance item, you shouldn't have much to worry about, but you could go back in 5 years or so after some treatments and then have the line re-inspected just to see if root growth has continued or if you've taken care of the problem by just using that preventative maintenance measure. But the line is open and flowing with no obstructions. There's a little bit of stuff out at the main that wasn't causing it, and that was not on the home line. We are vertical and coming back out of the clean out now. We're back in the reel. So, just to summarize, the line looked good structurally. The only issue we had is at 44 feet or so. There's some root intrusion that could be, it should be able to be taken care of with just some periodic chemical treatment or root X. The line is open and flowing at time of inspection, and so it's not an emergency to run that chemical down there, but I would do it just as a precautionary measure here soon, and then maybe once a year. And like I said, you may want to have another inspection done in a few years and just kind of see if you're worried about it backing up or if it starts acting like it's running slow. You could do it before then and see if there's anything going on in there that would cause any concern, or just to make sure that chemical is taking care of those roots and making sure they're not growing larger. But all in all, the line's in pretty good shape for its age, and it's open and flowing right now. So that'll end the inspection at 3520 Edgeview Drive in Kennedy Heights, Cincinnati, Ohio.